Hey y'all, how are you doing? So, welcome back to Laura's Lessons. Welcome back for another episode. Y'all, like, I'm really trying on this whole frequency stuff. I'm trying to get videos out as much as I can. Because I'm trying to get like 2 videos out for like, before the end of the month. So, y'all, like, I'm really trying here. Anyway, so welcome back to another episode of Laura's Lessons. And today, we're going to be talking about like, where he at, Jesus? Where he at, Lord? And how did this come up? First of all, this past week, I've really been battling, with my thoughts, and again, just like with God, like of how things to do with like relationships and like such type of matters, such type of just like lovey-dovey type of stuff. That's never stuff that I've ever talked about previously in my other videos, and even when I'm like putting out posts, never ever. And why? First of all, because like I've always felt as if like if you talk about such stuff, like you looked at to be so desperate, you looked at to be so shallow. Like, is that all that you're going through? Is that really like your biggest problem? Really? And it's so again, like for me, this is such a vulnerable, like so vulnerable video for me. I'm just like, yo, I think like I need to go into hiding for like the next 2-3 weeks. But funny enough, like God asked me, Jerry, when you were speaking about the fact that you want to graduate, did you feel bad about? Did you feel again like desperate when you speak about like I just want to graduate? I was like, no, I actually didn't feel like I felt as if like it was a very much okay desire to have, to actually just want to graduate, get out of school, and actually start practicing. So even when I go around, even when I went around telling people, yo, like my final year, I just want to graduate, I just want to be out of school, like pray for me. Like it didn't feel bad. Like I didn't feel bad, but then so God was asking me, so why do you feel the same when it comes to speaking about the fact that you actually do want to be a wife someday? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, and I was like, legit, why? I started asking myself, like, why do I feel like that? And I was like, to some extent, me and my own problems, to some extent, the society. Oh, we always have to blame society. Yes, we do. Just like all that type of stuff. So I was like, okay, God, so I'm gonna speak about this. Like, yes, you will. So I put out a question, actually a poll on the gram for those who follow me on the gram, and I put out a question on like what are the type of single Christian girl struggles that we're having, or just like Christian girl struggles that we're having. And I put out 2 questions. So number 1 was where he at, Jesus, and number 2 was are my standards too high? For some reason, I myself had actually been battling with the fact that are my standards too high? Because when I gave my life to Christ, oh wow, almost 4 years ago now. Almost 4 years ago, I made the decision to actually, not have sex until I got married. Excuse for the noise. So I made that decision, and before that, I'd actually been having sex before, like with people, and I was definitely not married to them. But so now having made that decision, I was like, yo, and I'm not looking back. And it was not something that was forced or drilled in me. That was something that actually like was totally like a conviction from God. I was like, yo, I'm gonna follow through with this. I'm gonna follow through. Is it easy? No. Is it like the most fun thing to do? No. Like it definitely has it's very hard days, or just like it's very difficult days of thinking like, wait, did I make the right decision? But God is always like, don't live by the ways of the world, because they now times they tell people and they're like, where? And they think you'll get a man like that. I was like, no, if God gave it to me, then He gonna provide, honey. He gonna provide. And I was like, yo, because it's just like very hard, especially like in today's day and age, to still actually get to learn that majority of the people still haven't, or rather still like living life, in that other way of like, yo, like it's fornication. I'm gonna say for how it is. You can get mad at me all you want, but to still know that people actually still view that as such a foreign thing, as such an orthodox thing. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stick by it. And actually today morning I saw a post, just a video somewhere, just speak about like abstinence. I don't call it celibacy, I call it abstinence, because I think like celibacy is like you deciding to be a nun, or deciding to like never have sex. I'm like, that is not my portion. No, it's just the fact that I'm waiting. There's a difference. So, and speaking about the fact that, oh, you shouldn't wait till you get married for you to have sex. What if the two of you don't have the same sexual energy? Before you buy a shoe, you have to try it on. Before you buy a car, you gotta like drive it first. And like, Jesus, what they say though. And God, like, and that's why, like, I usually say, like, it's so important for you, like, to be knowing the word for yourself, because he put out a verse for me, like, just like brought this word, said it to my mind. And like, I just took my several seats, and it's just like, Romans 12 verse 2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Back to the first part, do not conform to the patterns of this world. And that was him saying, Jerry, make sure that you don't conform to the patterns of this world, because that is me. That was like me almost being stuck to the fact that waiting is not such a good thing. And he's like, no, Jerry, stick to it. It might seem hard, just because everyone else is not doing it does not mean that God has still not called me to do so. And I'm just like putting this word out even to encourage like other girls, that even though you've messed up before, even though you have had sex before you got married, listen, like, I'm a true testimony. Like, God will still accept you back. He will still make you a new creature. He will still like renew you completely, and you're still his daughter. So don't you fall for that trick that just because you already had sex before, that could not change your life. You still can. And here I am to prove it. Okay, so the whole point is that God was just telling me, don't you dare fall for that, because that's the devil trying to make you feel as if, like, your standards are too high. Like, and actually a friend of mine texted me, and she saw that post. She was like, your standards are never too high. If it's God who actually gave you that conviction, and it's God who actually told you to stick by it, he definitely has someone in mind when he was doing that. So don't you fall for that. And I was like, yes. I was like, I'm gonna stick by it. It's hard, but you gotta stick by it. So just again, to go back to the point of, like, we're here, Jesus, and all that type of stuff. This past week I've been so just like a bit frustrated, just a bit disappointed, just a bit, just like all that in one, because I'm just like asking God, and God, like, where is he? First of all, I'm 24, and then after people will be like, hey, Jerry, you're too young to start thinking about that. I'm like, I don't know, I don't think I am. But again, also probably it's also because like so many of my friends, so many people in my social circle, it's that season, like, they're getting married, they're getting proposed to, they're getting, like, it's engagement season, it's marriage season, rorashia, for the international people means like dowry ceremonies. Like, it's just that season. I'm just like, yo, God, like, it's how now, and I really had to stop feeling bad about the fact that like, I'm also desiring the same. I had to actually get to a place where I'm like, Jay, don't feel bad for having such a desire. That's a God-led desire. That's something that even God himself, he's the one who initiated the whole institution of marriage. So why are you feeling bad about that? So I was like, you know what, like, I'm just like, no. So here we are speaking about that today. What was I saying? Lost track. Jesus, lost track. About the fact that this week I've been so frustrated. So yesterday I got home, I was from work, I was feeling so just a bit even frustrated with God. I was like, hey God, like, it's how now? Like, legit, like, it's how? And I was just like in a very complaining type of mood. Just like, like, it's like I even forgotten what the other things that God has actually done for me. And God actually led me to this chapter. It's in Psalm chapter 50. And I want you to go and take time to read it. So, but I'm going to put down the verses here for you so you can see them for yourself. So Psalm 50, let's start with verse 14. He says, make thankfulness your sacrifice to God, and keep your vows you made to the Most High. That is verse 14. Verse 23 says, but giving thanks is a sacrifice that truly honors me. That's him saying, if you keep my path, I will reveal to you the salvation of God. So all he's asking us is for our thanks. More than that, to also obey and just live by his decrees. Man, and like that for me was so deep for a moment that I just had to like pause and be like, God, that's all you're asking for me to be thankful? And it actually made me think, when was the last time I was thankful for what he has done for me in my life? Have you taken time to actually be thankful for what he's done for you? Have you? Because it broke me, and I literally just like started crying, just like, God, I'm sorry. But it also took me back to also the Israelites. Because when they're in captivity in Egypt, all they're doing is just like even praying to God, just crying out to God, like, God, get us out of here, God, get us out of this slavery and captivity. And when he did, and now he's taking them through the wilderness, not that their destination was the wilderness, but through the wilderness. They're complaining, they're mumbling, like every single moment about every single thing, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And God is like, he doesn't want to hear us complain. Things may not be going the way you want them to go right now, be it in like whatever situation. Probably again, like, it's just like, again, let's just take me, the whole like relationship aspect. Probably for you it could be like career, probably like it could be in school, but it's just like, thank me for all that I have done for you. That's God speaking. Like, just thank him for what he has done for you thus far. Thank him. I've seen this quote in Afternoons, and I actually think like it's very It makes so much sense in our situation, because the whole point is that he's just saying, thank him while you're in the hallways as you wait for the doors to be opened. The whole point is, if you don't thank him now when you're praying for whatever you want him to give you, who said you're actually going to thank him when he actually gives it to you? Because you know what's going to happen when he actually gives you what you're asking for right now? You're going to start praying for something else. You're going to start having another need. And is that a bad thing? No. I'm not here to say that having needs is a bad thing. No. But I'm just like, let's start cultivating the culture, the spirit of gratitude, the spirit of thanksgiving. It's a good thing, because he's still done so much for us, even though probably not everything is going as we want them to. He's still doing so much. We're still working. He's still working even in the sidelines, even in the background, even when you're not seeing what he's doing, he's still working. Just because you're not seeing it does not mean he ain't working. So let us start being thankful. Let us start actually thanking for what he's doing in our lives. And just like 2 more verses I want to give us. Romans 8 verse 28, it says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Listen, you may not be looking good right now, but you know he's working for your good. Just always remember that. He's always working for your good. Even when you don't see him, he's still working for your good. Even when he's putting you in a season of waiting, he's still working for your good. Something else that actually God reminded me of today is how is your heart posture when that one thing that you want is what everyone else around you is getting? Can we speak about that for a minute? Last year, I remember again when I was also praying to God about graduating and all that type of stuff. I kept on having dreams about graduation, but guess what? It wasn't my graduation that I was dreaming of. It was of my other classmates. You know, that actually got me to think, Kwani, God, does it mean that I'll not graduate? As in, it really messed up with my head. Because like I was literally seeing other people graduating, but I was not seeing my graduation. I was like, God, what are you trying to say, Jesus? What is it? It really messed me up. But actually, remember what actually God was trying to teach me is that what's your heart posture like when you start seeing other people getting the same thing that you're praying for? A very good friend of mine, my best friend, she lives in the States right now. Remember, for the longest time, she was like, she just wanted like a promotion at work. She just wanted like, you know, to have like a better position, you know, like even just like another job. And around the same time, other people around her were getting those promotions, were getting those jobs. And she was just like, what's happening? And it's so interesting how I was the one who was telling her this, but I'd not experienced it for myself then, or rather, I'd not realized that I'd also experienced it. But I told her, this is the time that God is also like testing your heart posture. How are you feeling when other people are getting the same thing that you're asking for? How do you feel? Are you jealous of them? Are you envious of them? Are you feeling bitter about it? Or are you thanking God about what he's doing in other people's lives? Can we get to a place of, again, thanksgiving and also just like blessing God, or just blessing those other people for what God is doing in their lives? Listen, it can also be a test in itself. I know it. Again, just like one more thing, because again, like this whole thing about marriage for me is becoming, it's just like getting bigger and bigger. I've been having dreams about people getting married, people getting proposed to. But guess what? It ain't mine. I'm just like, Jesus, listen, you've got it twisted. Like, I asked about mine, like when is mine happening? But I'm actually getting dreams about other people getting married, other people getting proposed to. I'm just like, okay. And then again, just around me again, like in reality, other people are getting married and engagements and relationships and all that type of stuff. I'm just like, all right, God, I get you. He's testing our heart posture, but at the same time, he's also like, will you be thankful to God for what he's doing in other people's lives as you wait for yours? Will you be thankful? Will you be grateful? So I pray that this week, y'all might get to learn, y'all might actually get to cultivate that great spirit, that great culture of thanksgiving. Trust me, it's not in vain. It's really not in vain. So start thanking him for what he's doing right now in the hallway as you're waiting for those doors to be open. Thank you for what he's done before in your life, what he's doing in your life and now, and thank you for what he's going to do later in time. It was actually just to bring back my friend, my best friend, she's in the States right now. She not only got a promotion, but she got a job in one of the biggest companies worldwide. These are an international company. You see, she was not even asking for that at any one point, but God exceeded her expectations. So what I'm trying to say is that you might be asking God for whatever you're asking God for right now, and probably you've seen it in your mind in a certain way, but it's like God is even telling you, you don't know how I'm about to come to you. That's God telling you. That's Ephesians 3:20. I think that's the last verse I'm going to read for you guys today. Ephesians 3:20, it says, we Christians love this verse. Come on, somebody. Yes, we do. It says, now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. You don't even know how he's about to come through for you. But are you grateful though? Are you thankful though? Work on that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Again, I hope this made sense, that this was like more of like a ladies type of a video today. But I hope that you will be able to actually cultivate and just cultivate like a spirit of gratitude this week and for the rest of your lives. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you all have a great week, day, afternoon, year, whatever. Bye.